Hayawam, Hashabbath, Lakodashwa, Kabad, Abakam, Wa Amaka, La'a, Ratazak, La'a, Fana'ap, La'a, Faganab, La'a, Fa'ainor, Shekor, La'a, Fahamad, Kol, Asherah, Ra'aika, Bahashem, Mashiach, Yahushua, Amen.
The Ten Commandments in English. And the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am the Most High thy power, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other powers before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images, or any likeness of anything that is heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the heaven, under the earth. Shalakia. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers unto the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and shewing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High power in vain, for the Most High will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Shabbat day, to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Shabbat day of the Most High thy power. And in it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is his neighbor's. By Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, the water from Yah, Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Repeat the Hebrew over. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Mashiach Yahushua that gives to us the law. Barak Yahweh. Bahashem. Hamashiach. Yahushua. Yahweh. Hatorah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Mashiach Yahushua that gives to us the light to see. Barak Yahweh. Bahashem. Hamashiach. Yahushua. Yahweh. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Mashiach Yahushua that gives to us the ram's horn to call the people. Barak Yahweh. Bahashem. Hamashiach. Yahushua. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Mashiach Yahushua that gives to us the olive oil to anoint Israel. Barak Yahweh. Bahashem. Hamashiach. Yahushua. Sheman. Zayah. Ramashah. Yasharah. The water from Yah. Amen. So thanks.
This is Psalms 92. It is a good thing to give thanks to the Most High, and to sing praises unto his name, O Most High, to shew forth thy loving kindness in the morning, and the faithfulness every night, upon an instrument of 10 strings, and upon the psalteries, upon the harp with a solemn sound. For thou, Most High, hast made me glad through thy work. I will triumph in the works of thy hands. O Most High, how great are thy works, and thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doeth a fool understand this. When the wicked spring as the grass, and when all the works of the iniquity do flourish, it is that thou shalt be destroyed forever. But thou, Most High, art most high forevermore. For lo, thine enemies, O Most High, for lo, thine enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. But my horn shalt thou exalt like the horn of an unicorn. I shall be anointed with fresh oil. Mine eye also shall see my desire on mine enemies, and mine ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against me. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of the Most High shall flourish in the courts of our power. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing, to shew that the Most High is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. By Hashem Mashiach Yehoshua, the water from Yah, Aman.
Hallelujah. 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 Psalms 121 in the last one production, holy tongue. Repeat the Hebrew. Anya, Ahariam, Ayanyanya, Ayel, Ahariam, Ma'ayan, Yawa'am, Isaiah, Yawa'am, Mayahoah, Ta'isha, Shemayim, Waharatza, La'al, Yonathan, Lamawat, Vagalia, Yala'am, Yinawam, Shashamarga, Hana, La'al, Yinawam, Wala'al, Yishan, Shashramar, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Shamaria, Yahweh, Tazalia, Yad, Yad, Yawamam, Hasamash, La'al, Hakaya, Wayirak, La'al, Wanyalah, Yahweh, Yashamaria, Markom, Rai, Yashamar, Napasya, Yahweh, Yashamar, Hawalakia, Waba'aya, Ma'aitha, Wa'ai, Aibalam, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yahushua, Tawada, Tobyad, Amen. Psalms 121 in English.
Psalms 121. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Most High, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasharallah shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Most High is thy keeper. The Most High is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Most High shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Most High shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. By Hashem Yahushua, Tawalakum Yad. Aman.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
The Lord's Prayer in the Lashon Kodash. Mashiach Tapala in the Hebrew. Repeat the Hebrew. Aviyanao. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Haya. Shamka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Taba'ah. Watzaka. Haya. Aisha. Baharatiza. Ka. Vashemayim. B'Talanao. Lacham. Ko. Yawam. Wasalaktanao. Chabawathirao. Kasalakyanao. Chabawathirao. Wala'ah. Tabiya'anao. Wanasayawan. Abo. Hawashayinao. Mun. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'ala. Wahathai Pa'arath. Wa'ayolami. Wa'ashem. Mashiach. Yahushai. Amen. Matthew 6. Matthew 6.
Matthew 6:9. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. For if ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will do forgive unto you. Shalakia. Your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if ye forgive not men that trespass, neither will your Father forgive you for your trespasses. Hashem Yahushua Tawalakum Yad. Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
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 Psalms 133 in the Lashon Kodash. Repeat the Hebrew. Sheyah, Hama'awa, Laduwa, Hana, Ma, Tawab, Waman, Nayam, Shabbath, Akim, Gam, Yakhad, Kashaman, Atwa, Al, Hara'ash, Yarad, Al, Hazakwan, Zakwan, Aharon, Shayarad, Al, Haya, Madawathira, Katal, Harawan, Shayarad, Al, Hariyah, Tazyawan, Kaya, Sham, Tazawal, Yahweh, Harakah, Kayayam, Ha'iwalam, Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahushua, Tawara, Tawyad, Amen. Psalms 133. Singers, read it. Psalms 133.
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountain of Zion. For there the Most High commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. By Hashem Yahushua Tawalakum Yad. Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Psalms 150, the praise.
Deliver me, O Most High.
Psalms 150. Psalms 150, the praise. Praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Praise Yahweh in his sanctuary.
Hallelujah.
Praise him in the firmament of his power.
Hallelujah.
Praise him for his mighty acts.
Hallelujah.
Praise him for his excellent greatness.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the sound of the trumpet.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the psaltery and harp.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the timbrel and dance.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with string instruments and organs.
Hallelujah.
Praise him upon the loud cymbals.
Hallelujah.
Praise him upon the high sounding cymbals.
Hallelujah.
And then you have breath, praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Praise be Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. Baruch Yahweh Shemai Zapalayah. Baruch Yahweh, bless this holy convocation, all those that dwell therein, and send a righteous spirit to dwell with us this day, and to minister unto us the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding contained in thy holy scripture. Heavenly Father, for we are those that observe the Shabbat day as a day that's been set apart from all the days of the week, a day that's been sanctified unto our forefathers. And we are to come together as one body, one mind, and one place, blessing thee, beseeching thee of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and worshiping thy high and holy name. Baruch Yahweh, continue to bless thy little sanctuary, bless Zion, and all those that dwell therein, and bless all the schools in the four corners of the earth that face Jerusalem on the Shabbat day, praising thee and beseeching thee of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All this we ask in the name of thy Son, Hamashiach Yahushua. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Let all that have breath praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Hashem Hamashiach Yahushua, the one to God, Amen.
Amen.
Yeshua, be seated. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
All right, Sabbath and peace to all you Hebrews. Again, all praises be to the power of Isaac and Jacob, for his mercy truly endured forever. It's truly a blessing to be here at this time and this place with the true worshipers of the Most High God. All right, we're going to go into the portion of the Torah. We're actually going to be finishing the book of Leviticus today. So far, those of you that have been coming, you've done Genesis, you've done Exodus, and we're about to finish Leviticus. Come? All praises be to the power of Isaac and Jacob for his merciful power, for returning our heritage unto us, for waking us up in these last days, no longer black, no longer Hispanic, no longer Negroes and everything else they call us, but the true Jews, true Hebrews, as our Father called us in heaven. Okay, as He gave us our heritage back, which is a beautiful blessing from the Most High. So we're going to get Colossians 3 verse 17. We're going to start there. Always giving thanks to the Most High in the name of Mashiach Yahushua. I trust everybody has a script. Everybody has a Bible. Everybody got a Bible? You need a Bible? We got Bibles in the front. Anybody need one? All right, hallelujah. So we're going to get Colossians 3 verse 17. Read it.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17.
Go ahead.
And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Most High, Hamashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the power of the Father by him.
Right. So everything we do in word or deed, we give thanks to the Most High, you know, in the name of his Son, Hamashiach Yahushua, you know, who died on the cross, right, on the crucifixion for the children of Israel. All right. This is what he came for. This is why he died. He died that we might have an opportunity that we have today, which is the opportunity of repentance. Okay? Without Hamashiach Yahushua, where would be our place of repentance? Okay? And our place of forgiveness, that we are to come back together as a nation once again. All right? Before we start the portion, give me Zephaniah 2 verse 1. Zephaniah 2 verse 1. I'd like to welcome all our guests that's come for the first time, as well as, you know, I'm Minister Shalom, and I have one of my soldiers, Karash, here, holding it down. I believe it's the first time you hold it down for this project. First time up. All right, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, that's what it's all about. All right, you're constantly growing. And, you know, all these young men, here are being raised to be leaders and to be there spiritually as of their families as well as their communities. Because this is how it was in our kingdom. We didn't have one priest that everybody went to. Every man was a spiritual leader of his family, and they grew together. They was a spiritual leader of their communities. Okay, we had the time of the judges, it's called. Book of Judges means we had judges throughout the land. All right, so we're coming back to our heritage. We're coming back to our way, the way that the Most High has written about us in the scriptures. Read that. 2 verse 1.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together, ye gather together, O nation not desired.
Right, gather yourselves together, yea, gather yourselves together, your nation not desired. So the Father has called us to gather together, come together. Right? This nation that's been separated has to now come back together. And what's going to pull us together is the understanding of the Most High God, the understanding of these scriptures. This is our Constitution, the Bible. This is our history. It's also prophecy. It also prophesies the present times we're living in today. Right? But this is our book. This is a book that was given unto the children of Israel. The so-called, what is called today the Bible. Right? Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. Bible. Okay, so these are where the basic instructions while you're upon this earth where we are to follow. Read.
Before the decree bring forth,
right?
Before the day pass as the chaff.
Come on.
Before the fierce anger.
Before what?
The fierce anger.
Before the fierce anger, read on.
Of the Most High come upon you.
Right.
Before the day of the Most High's anger come upon you.
Right. So before the day of the Most High's judgment on this earth, before that day, we're to come together. All right. Before that day, not after the day. Right? That'll be too late. Right? Before that day, we're to come together. So that's what we're living in. We're living in before that day. And we're coming together as a body, as a nation, as a people. And we are coming back to our heritage, whom the Lord calls us, what the Lord calls us. We've been putting on our language, right? Our true language is Hebrew. Right? The Lashawan Kodash. The Lashawan Kodash means holy tongue. Right? But you say it backwards, like in Spanish. Lashawan is tongue, right? Kodash is holy. But you say Lashawan Kodash, tongue holy, because just like in other languages, you put the subject before the adjective. Okay, so in Hebrew it's the same way. You put the subject before the adjective. So it's the Lashawan Kodash, the tongue holy, okay, or a holy tongue. All right. So he's saying that we are to gather together as one nation. So these Sabbath days is a holy gathering. It's a time for us to come together. It's given to us as a blessing from the Most High. Give me Exodus 31. And 12.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 31 and 12. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Yasharellah, saying, Verily, may my Sabbaths ye shall keep.
Right.
For it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations,
right,
that ye may not know, that ye may know that I am the Most High, that do sanctify you.
Right. So the Sabbath is a sign between his people and your God. And what that sign is saying is that what? He sanctified you. What does it mean to be sanctified? Separate. That you set aside for a holy purpose. Sanctified is something that's set aside for a holy purpose. So the Most High sanctified us. That's why we keep the Sabbath. Because it's a sign. Okay? What's a sign give you? It lets you know something. It gives you direction. So we have this Sabbath day, which is crucial, very important, that we show ourselves sanctified on the Sabbath. Right? Read on.
Ye shall keep the Sabbath, therefore, for it is holy unto you.
Right.
Everyone that defileth it shall surely be put to death.
Right. So it was a crime punishable by death to break the Sabbath. Okay. But the Most High, through His grace and mercy that is given all to us, is allow us to what? Wink at our ignorance, but as we come back, we got to keep the Sabbath 10 times harder. Everybody understand that? Right, because we can't look at the times when the Most High, He allowed us to, we were in our ignorance, we didn't know the Sabbath, a lot of us. And now He's returning on to us. We got to make sure that we're showing Him that we are thankful by keeping the Sabbath, keeping it dear onto our hearts. All right, read on.
For whosoever doth any work therein,
right,
that soul shall be cut off from amongst his people.
So one thing we learn about the Sabbath, what? We're not to do any work on the Sabbath. All right, it's not a time to be out there working at the job, 9 to 5, or working on Saturdays. We're not supposed to work on the Sabbath. All right, read on.
6 days may work be done.
How many days?
6 days may work be done.
6 days may work be done. Okay, so from, what's the 6 days? Right, in this society, it's called what? Sunday? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? But Friday, when the sun goes down Friday, work is finished. Okay? Work is finished. Because the Sabbath is from what? Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Okay? Now, when the sun goes down tonight, you're entering. Why is it from sundown to sundown? Who knows? Why isn't it from 12 noon? That's right. Every time the sun goes down, one day ends and a new day begins, according to biblical days, right? So every time you see the sun setting, what you're seeing is the ending of a day and the beginning of the day that follows. Now, I know that on our calendars or on our clocks, it's still the same day till 12 midnight. But that's rooted in witchcraft. A lot of people don't know that, but that's rooted in witchcraft. That's why when you used to watch those fairy tales and things of that sort, right? Cinderella, right? What time did she have to be back before she would lose all 12, right? Midnight, right? Because midnight coming what? All her stuff will disappear, right? We don't remember that growing up. I think some was older than others, right? I know children nowadays don't watch Cinderella. I don't know, they watch Cinderella. But those of us that remember these things, we never dawned on us, well, what was so significant about midnight? Well, midnight is known in witchcraft as the witching hour. That's what it's known as, right? What's that?
From 12 to 4 a.m. is some high wickedness.
Yeah, from 12 to 4 a.m. that's when they do their witchery, right? So this is why, they say by 12 midnight, that's the new day, because that's rooted in witchcraft. But as we come out of that mentality, we're coming back to the Most High God, we understand that the sun determines the days. Right? The moon determines what?
The night.
The nights? No. What does the moon determine?
The new moons.
The months, right? The moon determines the months. The sun determines the days. Everybody understand that? All right. So that's the way the Most High set it up. All right. How do we know that for sure? Let's get Genesis real quick. Genesis, the first chapter. Read from 1. Genesis 1:1.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, Yahweh created the heaven and the earth.
Right.
And the earth was without form and void. Darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the spirit of Yahweh moved upon the face of the waters.
Right, come on.
And Yahweh said, let there be light. And there was light. And Yahweh saw the light, that it was good.
Now he's saying Yahweh, right? What you see in your Bible, what do you see? What word do you see there? You see God, right? Now, the correct translation of this word God in the Hebrew is Alahaya, not Yahweh, right? Why is it Alahaya? It's plural, Alahaya. Okay, so it's a pluralization when you first read Genesis, the first chapter. So we like to either say the powers, right, or something to that effect, because it was pluralization, because it was the Most High and His angels that did this work at this time. Okay, so we'll read it again to say the powers in the beginning of the powers. Right. Yep.
In the beginning, the powers created the heaven and the earth, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the spirit of the Most High,
right,
moved upon the face of the waters.
Right.
And the power said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And the power saw the light, and it was good. And the powers divided the light from the darkness. And the powers called the light day, and the darkness, Shalakia, he called night.
Right.
And the evening and the morning were the first day.
And the what?
The evening and the morning were the first day.
And the evening and the morning are the first day. So what is a day?
Evening and sundown.
Evening and morning. Exactly as it's written. I mean, we don't have to add to the scripture. Evening and morning is a day. And the evening and the morning is the first day. Read on.
And the power said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And the power.
Back, just for a process of time, I'm going to jump down. And so let the earth bring forth verse 7. Read us that?
Yeah, verse 3 to 5. That's when he's given a dispensation of time, right?
Yeah. He's given a dispensation of time.
Like, how do you know, like, they start and you know the time?
Right, let us know how days. He's creating days on the earth. Right. Right. Dispensation of time more means a length of days.
Yeah.
So he's just creating what a day is.
Yeah.
Right. On this earth, what they call a 24-hour, time. Okay. Verse 7.
And the powers made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And the powers called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day.
The evening and the morning were the second day. So you're going to see evening and the morning is a day. All right, but let's get down to the sun and the moon. So let's jump down to the 16th verse. Matter of fact, 14th verse. 14th verse.
And the power said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven,
right,
to divide the day from the night."
So now, read on. Sorry.
"And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years."
So these lights are for signs, seasons, days, years. What are these two great lights? For signs, seasons, days. He said in the heavens. So that's telling us what? These lights, the sky is also called what? The heavens. Another name for the sky is the heavens. Or for space, it's the heavens. When you look up, you're looking up into the heavens. All right? As far as your eyes can see, if you get a telescope, you're still looking into the heavens. Everything above the earth is the heavens. Everybody understand that? That's very important to understand when you later on you're reading scripture, understand what these words really mean. Because at times people see the word heaven and they automatically believe the spiritual realm, where the Most High dwells and where angels dwell, and where that's another heaven. There's more than one heaven in the scriptures. Okay? And the scriptures talk about the different heavens. But one definition of heaven is the sky. All right, read on.
Verse 15. "And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth."
Right.
And it was so.
So they have different purposes. One is to give light. What's the other purpose of these two great lights? To do what? We just read. Seasons. Days. Right. Years. Right. So all this is determined by these two great lights that's in the heavens. You're able to read all these things by these two great lights. Read on.
And the powers made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day,
Right?
and the lesser light to rule the night.
So what's the greater light? It's called the sun, right? We've all seen the sun, right? And the lesser light to rule the night. What's that light? The moon. Okay, so that's the purpose of the sun and moon. Okay, to give light, but also for seasons and for times. So we know when the month is starting. How do we know when the month is starting? What do we see? You see the new moon?
No moon.
Or you see no moon. That's right. Because when there's no moon in the sky, that's called the new moon. And that's the beginning of the month. So every time there's a new moon, you don't see the moon. That's the beginning of the month. And then you see the moon go through its phases. And then when it comes back to blank again, that's another new month. Every new moon is a new month. So now you're learning how to look at time from a biblical perspective, from a perspective of the Most High God. So now we go through the scriptures and we talk about certain times and certain months. It might be different than what you see on your calendar because we follow in the biblical calendar. Everybody understand that? So you have a question, feel free, ask. We will explain why we're saying this is the 7th month, but on your calendar it's the 9th month or 10th month, right? But we talk about it as the 7th month because we're going according to the biblical calendar. All right. We understand what the sun was made for, what the moon was made for. Okay? All right. So go back to Exodus. We're in 31, and you were reading 15. Exodus 31, verse 15.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 31, verse 15. 6 days may work be done, but in the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest. Holy is the Most High. Holy to the Most High. Shalakia. Whosoever doth any work in the 7th day, he shall surely be put to death.
Read on.
Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant.
What does the word perpetual mean? Right? Continual. Doesn't stop. So we're going to conserve this Sabbath as a perpetual covenant. What's a covenant now?
A contract.
It's an agreement. So we have an agreement with the Heavenly Father that He'll be our power and we'll be His people. And the sign of it is the Sabbath. It's a covenant. It's a deal. All right? You bless us and we serve you. Right? That's the deal. Right? We don't serve Him. Guess what? Right? Then you be looking for the blessings and they ain't coming. Right? So we got to be mindful of that. All right? So it's very simple. You break down the scriptures to the simplest form. You see, it's not that complicated. Okay? People make the scriptures to be some mysterious thing. But when you open up your eyes, you see it. You say, wait a minute. We've been fighting our own selves. The Bible is very simple. Right? He gave us the Sabbath day, sundown to sundown. We're going to keep it. He said, do all your work all the other 6 days. But when the Sabbath comes, that's the time to give unto Him. Now, you got choices in this world. In this society we live in, it's a 24/7 society. Nothing ever stops. Right? But your choice is, all right, what are you going to do? Are you going to give Him the Sabbath? Or are you going to go along with society, what society wants you to do? There's always going to be enough souls to do what society wants them to do. There's going to be enough 24/7 people out there. But those that the Most High sanctify, you want to be a 6-day person. Because the 7th day belongs to the Most High. Everybody understand that? Read on.
Verse 17. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, and on the 7th day He rested.
He did what?
He rested.
He rested. Read on.
And was refreshed.
And was refreshed. So that's what it's for. You come to rest and be refreshed. Right? We get to go into the scriptures all day. Right? You got questions. We got answers. We're going to go through learning things of the Most High God. See how these things relate to our lives? It's a beautiful thing. All right? It's a blessing for the Most High to reveal unto us what pleases him. This is what pleases the Most High, that we keep his commandments. All right? And his commandments are not grievous. Con? All right, so let's now enter the portion for this Shabbat day, the Sabbath day. Shabbat will be, how you say Sabbath in Hebrew. Shabbat. And what did I say we started with? 21? What is 25 and 1? 25 and 1, that's right, 25 and 1. Right into the Sabbath of the year.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25 and 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses in the Mount Sinai, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them,
right?
When ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Most High.
Right, so the land now, the earth, got to keep a Sabbath. So you're not the only one that got to keep a Sabbath. The very earth has to keep a Sabbath. Let's see how the earth keeps a Sabbath. Read.
6 years.
6 what?
6 years.
6 years, read on.
Thou shalt sow thy field.
What does it mean to sow a field? Plant, right? You sowing what? Seeds. You dropping the seeds. He said 6 years, you're going to plant seeds. You're going to sow. You're going to till the ground. You know how they make the rows when they're doing farming and all that? They set everything up. They section places off. Remember, you're not supposed to sow diverse seeds in the same area, right? So if you plant in spinach here, that's all you can plant. You can't plant corn amongst your spinach, right? You got to plant corn over there. Everything has to be separate. Okay, so this is what they talking about. They sowing the land, meaning they're preparing the different sections. They're planting the seeds. They're making sure that things grow in order. Read on.
In 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard.
6 years thou shalt prune the vineyard. What does it mean to prune? Like prune a tree. How do you do that? Trim, right? As it grows, you don't let it grow wild. Right? You cut it back and you get it to grow the way you want it to grow. Right? So you clip off the edges, you make sure everything is right, lined up, looking good, looking in order, right? Read on.
And gather in the fruit thereof.
And gather the fruit. So the fruit comes off, you gather it in, read on.
But in the 7th year.
But in the 7th year, read on.
Shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land.
So you got to rest the land. So you're going to tell me today, do they rest the land? No. You get everything all year, all the time. Well, we're supposed to rest the land. The land's supposed to rest on the 7th year. Let's see how the land rests. Read.
But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Most High. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard.
Right.
That which groweth of its own accord of thy harvest. Thou shalt not reap, neither gather the grapes of thy vineyard undressed, for it is a year of rest unto the land.
Come on.
And the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you.
Right. So when it says shall be meat for you, that word meat in that context means good. It shall be good for you. Okay, read on.
For thee, and for thy servant, and for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for thy stranger that sojourneth with thee.
Read on.
And for thy cattle, and for thy beasts that are in thy land, shall all the increase thereof be meat.
Right, so what does that mean? What are they supposed to do with the stuff that grow?
Let it fall into the ground.
No.
Give it to your servants and everybody else.
You can eat it. You can eat it. All right? But you can't gather it. You can't gather. But you see, it's difference of you going out. You can eat. You can take and eat. Take some, cook it, eat it today. Go back out, take some, cook it, eat. right? But you can't stack and stockpile it, right? You're not supposed to be pruning the land. You're not supposed to be putting more seed. Well, so what you don't eat, that falls on the floor, okay? Because if you know how fruits work, right? If you pick a fruit, but if you wait too long, that fruit is gonna what? Fall to the ground, right? And then what? The ground is gonna start to eat of it. The ground will start to eat it, right? The bugs will come out the ground and it will start to devour that fruit, and that fruit will start to will go down into the ground. All right? That's what they call fertilizer. Like it's almost like it fertilizes the land. It regenerates the earth. It revitalizes the earth. The fruits that fall upon the land, or the vegetables that fall and decompose into the ground, and then re-up the land. So the land becomes fortified and stronger. That's why today we don't really get the vitamins out of the foods the way we're supposed to get. Right? They try to use GMOs to try to trick the system because they already have polluted the lands. All right, the greed of the powers that control, right? You know, the greed of the government and those that control agriculture, right? We in America now, so here's the so-called white man, right? His greed has blinded him to think, okay, well, I'm just going to reap everything, right? And I'm going to forget about that Bible, say, I ain't going to rest no land, I got to eat. And his scientists go in the lab and they create something called GMOs. Thank you, Brother Seth. Right? What are GMOs? They call it genetically modified organisms.
The picture of Christ.
Right? Right? And when they create these GMOs, right? The things that Israel says, right? When they create these GMOs, right? They're trying to circumvent the fact that they don't follow the agricultural rules of the Most High God. So they need to find a way around it. So they create gene splicing and they're creating seeds and they're doing things in the laboratory to get fruits and vegetables, one, to grow out of season, right? Or to yield larger, how would you say, larger harvests. But these foods are lacking the nutrients because they're not being dealt with the right way. So therefore, when we get what? When we lack nutrients, what happens to our bodies? What do we get?
Cancer.
Oh,
Malnourished.
we get sicknesses, right? We're not all dead. We all lack nerves, right? But we get sicknesses because we're not reaping from the land what we're supposed to reap. Okay? We're not getting what we're supposed to get, right? Read on.
Verse 8, and thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of year unto thee, 7 times 7 years, and the space of the 7 Sabbath of years shall be unto thee 49 years. Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound.
So now, every 7th year we count, right? Now, when we count 7 times 7, right? Which is what?
49.
49th year, we have a special day of rest. This day is called the day of the year of Jubilee. What does the word Jubilee mean? Who knows the word Jubilee means? Right? You ever heard that word Jubilee?
I heard it, but don't know the meaning.
Somebody look up Jubilee. I know you've heard that word before. A lot of times we hear words, we don't even know its origin. Right? What you got for Jubilee?
A special anniversary, especially a 50th anniversary, a celebration such as an anniversary.
Right. A 50th anniversary, a celebration. That's what a Jubilee is. It's a time to celebrate. Okay? So on that 49th year is a year of Jubilee. We're going to be celebrating every 49th year. Right? What's that?
No, I was saying they have the Jubilee.
Jubilees, right? I know you've heard that word. It's used throughout the language. What? What's the third definition?
A year of emancipation of restoration provided by ancient Hebrew law to be kept every 50 years.
Well, that's a more according.
By the emancipation of Hebrew slave, restoration of alienated lands to former owners, and omission of cultivation of the land.
So it's in the definition of the word. But they throw that word out there and they use it, loosely, but we know what the real definition of Jubilee is. The real definition of Jubilee is 49. Yeah. Got a big thing. All right, read.
Verse 9. Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month. In the day of atonement shall ye make the trumpet sound throughout all your land.
Right.
And ye shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land, unto all the inhabitants thereof.
And proclaim liberty throughout all the land. So anybody that was servitude, this day, this year, we proclaim liberty. Meaning that it's your jubilees. It's time for you to be what? To be free. Okay, read on.
It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession, and ye shall return every man unto his family. A jubilee shall Shalakia. A jubilee shall thou 50th year be unto ye. Ye shall not sow, neither shall reap that which groweth of itself in it, nor gather the grapes of it of thy vineyard undressed.
So imagine this year. You have a whole year that you don't have to sow, you don't gotta be reaping the land, you don't gotta till the land, you just go there and eat. Right? And everybody is celebrating for the whole year. Everybody that went away, maybe there was some people that had to go serve, they'll be brought back home. Right? Everything is a reset, the year of Jubilee. Everything is reset. All right? A year of liberty, okay, amongst our people. This is our culture. So we had this liberty. Every 7 years we rest the land. 7 times those 7 years, we'd have the year of Jubilee, where we rest the land as well, but we also, all our debts are forgiven, right? All your debts are forgiven. Like, in this society, if you get credit, right? How long is your credit supposed to hold your credit over your head?
7 years.
It's supposed to be 7 years. Now, of course, we dealing with 7 years.
I thought I'd follow you to the grave.
7 years.
Some things come
All right.
7 years. Esau tried
Hold on now, hold on. It's supposed to be 7 years. He knows that, right? But you know who you up against. Slacker. You know who you up against. You up against Esau, right? He is not a straight person to deal with. He knows it's supposed to be 7 years, but he's going to find ways around that. Okay? By what? He renews your debt. He finds ways to force you to renew your debt. So that when the 7 year come around, it don't matter because you've done renewed the debt already. Okay? So that's what he's supposed to do. He's not supposed to give you, you're not supposed to have a 30-year loan. It's supposed to be no longer than 7 years. Right? Your loan is supposed to be no longer than 7 years, according to Hebrew law. But we know the society does not follow Hebrew law. You see, their system is based on our laws, but then they pervert the law for their own gain. Okay? They said 7 years. No, how could I sell you something, right, and get you tied, and they want to have you tied in for the rest of your life. So they give you a 30-year loan, right? Knowing you ain't never going to pay that off. 15 years down the lane, you're going to refinance, and you're going to extend it back out 30 years again. So shoot, by now, how old are you? You ain't got much time left, right? And you will always owe him. That's how his system is set up, that you always owe him. Okay? But we learning a different system when we open up the Bible. We're learning a society that was self-sufficient, self-sustaining, that did not use economical the economical ways of the other nations. We had our own economical setup. 7 years. If I loan you money, 7 years it would last. That's it. Then by the end of that 7, we have to settle this. Okay? Yeah.
The Latin word for meaning of mortgage is death grip.
Is what? Death grip? Death grip. So, right? Because they have you until you demise. Okay?
Actually, they always have you because even with the taxes, you never own anything.
Right. So that's another way. So there's multiple ways we see. Subject to payments. Okay? Subject to payments. That's part of our curses, right? So we understand that the life that we live in, the society we live in, right? We have to understand, as we learn more about the Most High God, that this is a demonic society. All right? We call it demonic not because of movies or things that don't make sense, but within the sense of things. The laws of this land are contrary to the laws of God. Everybody understand that? That's why we say it's demonic. We're not just saying it's demonic because we're against it, but we're seeing it according to the letter of the law. So 7 years, you're not supposed to have a debt longer than 7 years. And at the end of that 7 year, that debt is supposed to be wiped away. When you structure loans, the loan structure should be no longer than 7 years. Okay? That's the way we structured our loans. We structured our businesses, our projects, that 7 years would be the duration of it. Okay? And at that 7th year came about, we would stop. Okay? So let's read on.
Verse 12, for it is the Jubilee, it shall be holy unto you. Ye shall eat the increase thereof out of the field.
Right, you can eat the increase out of the field, meaning that what grows you can eat. Right? But you're not to till the land. Read on.
In the year of the Jubilee, ye shall return every man unto his possession.
Right?
And if thou sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buyest out of thy neighbor's land, ye shall not oppress one another.
Right?
According to the number of years after the Jubilee, thou shalt buy of thy neighbor. And according unto the number of the years of the fruits, he shall sell unto thee.
You see that? So now, if, let's say I were to buy a house you have, right? It's on your land, right? Now, I can only purchase that house for a certain dispensation of time. After that time, I need to go back to my land. Most High gave everybody land, right? But we moved around. We did different things. We had commerce in between each other, right? You can only charge me according to how long is it to the Jubilee. Because when the Jubilee comes, what happens? I got to get reset. I got to give it back. Okay, so I can only own it for 49 years. And the 50th year, I have to give it back. Okay, so that's how you would charge me. So if the 50th year was 2 years, coming up in 2 years, you would not charge me the same as if it was coming up in 40 years. Everybody understand that? Because he says only 2 more years to the Jubilee, give me this amount for it. And then when the Jubilee comes, you got to give it back. Okay, everybody understand that? All right, so we learning a different society, our society. Okay, read on.
Verse 16, according to the multitude of years, thou shalt increase the price thereof, and according to the fewness of years, thou shalt diminish the price of it. For according to the number of the years of the fruits doeth he sell unto thee.
Right, so that the number of the year of the fruits. So say that if I bought land and I bought some land from you, and I decided to what? Do agriculture, cultivate, grow something on the land. How many fruits was I able to produce? How long was this? You know, you got to do the math, and determine, okay, how much is this land worth? How much can I produce? You know, how long is it going to take? Because some things you plant, it takes a long time for it to bear, right? Anybody try to plant a coconut tree? How long it take for a coconut tree to bear? Huh? It takes about 7 years. right before you get a coconut off that tree. Yeah, think about that. It takes a long time. Not everything yields yearly. Some things take a long dispensation of years before you actually get a fruit off of this tree. Right? Go ahead.
Then after the fruit fall, don't you gotta wait a couple more years to eat it?
It depends when it falls. No, not necessarily. It depends when it falls. Okay. Because if it falls in a time where it's a 7th year, then yes, you can reap of it. You can eat of it, but you can't reap. You can't shake the tree and get all the fruits. They fall on the ground and replenish. But if it's a regular year and it starts to bear, yeah, you can eat of the tree. Right? When they were talking about not eating of the tree for a few years, when we first entered into the land of Canaan, because the Canaanites had a whole place to foul. That's why we couldn't eat of the fruit. We had to wait to let some of that the fouling, work its way out, and then we would be able to eat. Right? But in our land, we didn't have to wait. Right? Read on.
Verse 17. Ye shall not therefore oppress one another, but thou shalt fear thy power.
Right.
For I am the Most High, your power.
Right. We're not supposed to oppress each other. Mean that what? Get over on each other. You know what I'm saying? Right. We're not supposed to, because somebody really needs something, take advantage of that person. That's what it's talking about. All right. We can't take advantage because somebody really needs it. Right. We still have to sell it for what it's worth. All right. Read on.
Verse 18. Wherefore ye shall do my statutes and keep my judgments and do them.
Right.
And ye shall dwell in the land in safety. And the land shall yield her fruit, and ye shall eat your fill and dwell therein in safety.
Uh-huh.
And if ye shall say, what shall we eat the 7th year? Behold, we shall not sow, nor gather in our increase.
Mm-hmm.
Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year.
Right.
And it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years.
For how much years?
For 3 years.
Right. So he said, listen, don't worry about the 7th year. Because the Most High going to double bless you in the 6th year. You're going to have a huge harvest on the 6th year. That you got fruit enough that you don't have to take nothing from the field on the 7th year. See how the Most High deal with us? All right, read on.
Verse 22. And ye shall sow the 8th year, and eat yet of old fruit, until the 9th year, until her fruits come in.
Right, you're going to be sowing the 8th year, and you still going to have fruit left over from the 6th year. That's how much fruit he's going to give you. All right, that's a whole lot. And that shows us that what? We knew how to preserve our food. We knew how to preserve our food for years. Okay, we had that understanding, that methods of preservation of food. All right, so don't think that before there was refrigerators, we had no way of preserving our food. We knew how to preserve our food long before the refrigerator was created. Everybody understand that? Right? We had the Most High gave us that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of how to do this. Okay. All right, read on.
Verse 22. And ye shall sow the 8th year, and eat yet of old fruit, until the 9th year, until her fruits come in.
Come on.
Ye shall eat of the old store. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine, for ye were strangers and sojourners with me.
Come on.
And in all the land of your possession, ye shall grant a redemption for the land.
Right.
If thy brother be waxen poor, and have sold away some of his possession, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which his brother sold.
Right.
And if that man have none to redeem it, and himself be able to redeem it, then let him count the years of the sale thereof, and restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it, that he may return unto his possession.
Right. So you might sell something. You can always buy it back. But you got to buy it back. You got to pay for it. All right. Or somebody could come and pay for it for you and get it back to you. Maybe you fall hard times, or you need the money. You needed you had this extra land, and you might need to furnish or something, something you need to take care of. You always had that way of getting that money, getting those funds if you have possessions. But your possession will always be bought back. right? In this society, you sell something, it's gone forever, okay?
As is.
You ain't never getting it back. All right, so you can forget about that. And a person can sell it to you for whatever they feel like selling it to you for, depending on how bad you want it. That's how much they sell it to you for. Okay, so that's a capitalist society. But we had a spiritual society that was based on every man common, right? You hear about communists, right? The word that, communist, the core word in the communist is common, right? And that all things are made what? Common. I mean, everybody would be on the same level, in other words. Okay? So really, a communist society is closer to a righteous society than a capitalist society. Because a capitalist society is everyone fend for themselves, make as much as you can make, capitalize on what your neighbor needs, right? Or capitalize on the needs of others, right? Get rich, right? But a communist is what everybody has, okay? Everybody has what they need, suffice. The extra is distributed. That's how it's supposed to be. Of course, corruption dwells everywhere. So even the communists are corrupt. But this is just the core of why things was created that way. Okay, read.
Verse 28. But if he be not, but if he be not able to restore it to him, then that which is sold shall remain in the hand of him that hath bought it until the year of the Jubilee.
Right.
And in the Jubilee it shall go out, and he shall return unto his possession.
Right.
And if a man sell a dwelling house in a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold.
Mm-hmm.
Within a full year may he redeem it.
Come on.
And if it be not redeemed within the space of the full year, then the house that is in the walled city shall be established.
Mm-hmm.
Shall be established forever to him that bought it throughout his generations.
Right.
It shall not go out in the Jubilee.
Right. So now it's different if you're in a walled city. Why is it different in a walled city? Because a walled city now is kind of like a Fort Lauderdale, right? Where people move here and they establish their life here, right? So the lands is different people living right next to each other. Society, when we got our lands, we had our land, big piece of land. You had your big piece of land, I had mine. That's my family heirloom. That comes back to my family. But when a city is built, nobody really owns those parcels of lands, right? And if you did own a parcel of land in there, it's a small piece. And the neighbor next to you owns their small piece. So we had cities. We had a different law for cities than suburbs. Suburbs was one thing, cities was something else, okay? In the city, you establish it, that's your land now, you keep it. You bought it, it's now yours because you're in the city. And the city has to dwell and thrive and grow, all right? That walled city. But if you're out in the suburbs, out in the rolling hills and the lands, and you are inherited some land, that will always be your land. You can only sell it for a certain dispensation of time, all right? Let's go ahead. We don't.
Verse 32. Notwithstanding the city of the Levites and the houses of the cities of their possessions, right, may the Levites redeem at any time. And if a man purchase of the Levites, then the house that was sold in the city of his possession shall go out in the year of the Jubilee.
Right, so note to self. Don't purchase a Levi's land. Because they can always come back and get their land. They don't make no deals with the Levites. Leave the Levites alone, right? They'll keep their own land. Right? We don't.
For the houses of the cities of the Levites are their possession among the children of Israel.
Right, and they were their cities were in everybody's land. Levites had a little piece of everybody's land. And in their city, that's theirs. Don't mess with them. Don't buy it because they're going to give it back. You understand that? That's a Levite land right there. So you're taking a risk with that. That's a risky purchase right there. All right, read on.
Verse 34. But the field of the suburbs of their cities may not be sold.
Right.
For it is their perpetual possession.
Right. The suburbs outside of the city, the lands, they weren't able to sell that. That was the Most High's, right?
And if thy brother be waxing poor and falling in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, he, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee.
Right.
Take thou no usury.
So in that sense, a stranger and a sojourner means what?
Somebody from another nation?
No. Read that again.
And if thy brother be waxing poor and falling in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger.
Though he be a stranger, right? So what does that mean? This is an Israelite from a different area. If you know how we had our areas, every tribe had their area, right? Judah had his land, Dan had his land, Ephraim had his land, right? If you were from Ephraim, but you were down here in Judah, that's your brother, right? Even though he's a sojourner, he's not from this land of Judah. He's actually from up there in Ephraim. But because he's your brother, because he's a fellow Israelite, you deal with him differently. Everybody understand that? All right, so we had laws for every situation. Okay, so read that again. 35.
Verse 35. And if thy brother be waxing poor and falling in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, he though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. Take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear thy power, that thy brother may live with thee.
Right, what is usury? Interest, right? On top of the dollar. All right, so you relieve him, you give him some money, give him a couple hundred. Don't add a couple hundred on top of that and say, well, yeah, you gotta give me back, you gotta double that when you give it back. No usury on your brother, right?
I am Yahweh your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your power. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxing poor and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant.
Right, so your brother wax poor, you don't make a slave out of him. He got to serve you to get his money, to get his daily bread, to take care of his family, but you ain't supposed to enslave him. Okay? Like a bond servant. A bond servant, what does it mean bond or free? What does it mean that? What's the difference between a bond servant and a free servant?
Bond is probably attached to or tied down. It sounds like me bonded. Bondage.
Yeah, he's in bondage. He can't what? He can't leave. He can't leave. You're in bonds. Okay? That's a bond servant. A free servant can leave and come and go. He serve, he get paid. He's like a hired servant. Right? He's like an employee. Right? Kind of like what we are. Right? But we're in bonds because it's not like we can't leave either, but then who's gonna pay the bills? Right?
Verse 40. But as a hired servant, and as a sojourner,
right,
he shall be with thee,
right,
and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee.
Right, so treat him as a hired servant. All right, this is somebody that's working off because he's impoverished, he's poor. So he needs food, he needs raiment, he needs a place to stay. So he come and work for you on your land. Right? You treat him like a hired servant, you treat him like you hired him. Okay, read on.
And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him.
Right.
And shall return unto his own family.
Right.
And unto the possession of his fathers shall he return.
So in the year of Jubilee, he can leave, correct? Read on.
For they are my servants.
They are what?
They are my servants.
Read on.
Which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt.
Come on.
They shall not be sold as bondmen.
Right, so we're not supposed to be slaves. We're the Most High servants. You're an Israelite, you're God's servant. That's who you're supposed to serve. You're not supposed to be held on a bond serving man. All right? That's not the condition we're supposed to be in, even though we went through that condition. All right, read on.
Verse 43. Thou shalt not rule over him with vigor, but shalt fear the Most High.
Right, we will rule over each other with rigor, right? And the reality of it, man, that'd be the worst supervisor you get, is your own people. Yes. Right, sometimes a white man and a Chinese man, gonna treat you better than your own people, man. But that becomes the curse that we underneath. We're supposed to look out for one another. You understand that? We're not supposed to rule over each other with rigor. We're not supposed to make our job extra hard because this is your people. You're supposed to actually make it easier. All right? You know, that's my sister. I'm not going to treat her like that. That's my brother. I'm not going to treat him like that. I'm going to give him, matter of fact, yeah, you could take that extra half an hour. Right? I won't watch you. I won't watch what you're doing. You're supposed to turn a blind eye to what your brother doing. All right, don't get yourself in trouble. Right? I ain't going to say that, but don't get yourself in trouble. Right? But no, we be taskmasters over our own people. Man. We're not supposed to be that way. You know?
Verse 44. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, right, shall be of the heathen.
Shall be of what?
Of the heathen.
What does that word heathen mean? Give me a Bible dictionary. Who got a Bible dictionary? Let's get the Bible dictionary. Let's look up the word heathen. So we got a full understanding of that word. So he said, both your bondmen and your bondmaids, that means your male and female bonded servant, meaning they can't leave. Captive servant shall be of the heathen. Who is the heathen? Let's see according to the Bible dictionary.
Heathen, people or nation, usually used for a non-Israelitish people.
For a non-Israelite people. Read on.
And thus has the meaning of Gentiles.
So those that are not Hebrew Israelites, those are the ones that would be our what? Bonded servants. That's what the Most High created to be this way. But what ended up happening? We ended becoming their bonded servants. That's what history shows us, right? During slavery, we were slaves right here in front. You go right down Broward, you cross over 441. What's the name of that area?
Plantation.
It's named that for a reason. All right. We was on that plantation. All right. We were bonded servants. We weren't able to leave. Right? Only we leave in a casket. Okay. So that was the curse that was put upon us. But we were not supposed to be anybody's bonded servant. Okay. These nations were supposed to be our bonded servants. Okay. Hold that and give me Ecclesiastes. I believe it's 7:7. 7:7, I believe it is.
Yeah, surely a question.
No. 7:10 then. You see the servants upon horses. That's easy. Something like that.
Talk about the horse.
Yeah, I seen.
The princes and the horse.
Yes, it's 10:7. 10:7.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verse 7. I have seen servants upon horses, right, and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
So what he saw there in that picture? What did he see?
Heathens riding a horse and we would walk.
That's right. He saw the switching of roles. Right? Teddy Roosevelt statue. Right? Teddy Roosevelt statue is in downtown Brooklyn. Well, Grand Army Plaza, really. And it shows that Teddy Roosevelt is on a horse. And you see the slaves walking next to him. And they got a big statue. Huge. Right? Right in the middle of Grand Army Plaza. You can't miss it. Right? To show you that was the significance of slavery here in this country. What he saw was slavery in this country. What he saw servants on horses and princes whom you are, right? Princes and princesses walking as servants upon the ground. Okay? Roles were reversed. That's a prophecy of us going into this captivity of America. Okay? Go ahead, D.
even in that movie, Django, they wasn't allowed. We wasn't allowed to ride horses. When we came up there on that horse.
That's right. Yeah, they looked at him crazy. Right, because we were supposed to walk, and they ride the horse. Right, in the book, you refer to the movie The Django. Everybody saw Django? Django? Will Smith? Was it Will Smith? Jamie Foxx. One of them guys. Right? Jamie Foxx, right. The Django. So, if you saw that movie, you see, we were in servitude, and the so-called white man was the slave master, or he was supposed to be the, above us, but he's supposed to be our servant. Right? And that is from the birth of Esau and Jacob, it tells us that. So the roles we're living today is a reverse role. We're looking at the government, which is ran by servants. And we are princes being run by servants. Everybody understand that? Give me Isaiah. Some people think it's supposed to be this way. But the Bible clearly shows us a different way. All right? Do the third chapter.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
Right.
O my people, that they which lead thee, cause thee to err, and destroy the ways of thy paths.
Right. They that lead us cause us to error. Right? And destroy the path. Women and children, we serve. Okay? That's how we refer to these nations, as women and children. Right? Manhood, it doesn't show amongst these nations. Because what makes a man a man? What makes a man a man? What makes a man fully formed as a man? What establishes manhood?
Being able to raise a family and
anybody raise a family can have children. Any animal can have children, right? Go ahead. That's right. Can you give me scripture? Number one. That's right. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let's get that.
I was going to say a man make his own decisions.
No.
Not that.
No, because animals make their own decisions. Right? Horses make their own decisions if you don't bridle them. Right? So anybody can make their own decision. That don't make you special.
Ecclesiastes
12 and 13.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13.
Right.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Right.
Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of a man.
That's right. This is the whole duty of man. To fear the Most High and keep his commandments. That makes you a man. Right? That's how you become fully formed as a man. Right? We're children, we grow into manhood. Manhood is our ability to do the Father's will. Okay? So, children and women are our oppressors because why? Ain't no men up there. Because these nations don't follow the ways of God. They don't follow the ways of the Heavenly Father. So they can't be even considered to be men in a spiritual sense. Okay? So now, let's go back. Going back to Leviticus. So everybody understand that who's supposed to be the bond? It's going to be that way again in the future. You understand that? That's a promise that the Most High has given us. That the servants will be back in the servant's position and the prince will be back in the prince's position. Could you imagine that? Right? Can you imagine the earth is being run by so-called black people? Right? By Hebrew Israelites, by these Negroes? Right? What you got up there? Oh, okay, I see somebody looking up. All right? That's the statue right there.
That's deep right there.
You see that right there?
That's Indian and that's
That's the statue right there. You got the Native Americans, which are also Hebrew Israelites, right? And you got Jake on this side, which is also Hebrew Israelites. And who we got? The devil on the horse, right? The so-called oppressor man. Right? That's a perfect picture.
They still got that up today?
Yeah, they ain't going nowhere. I show you that what? Who the real Jews are, oppressed by their slave master. Matter of fact, give me Isaiah 1. Isaiah 14 verse 1. Gotta go there now. You gotta go there now. Isaiah 14 verse 1. We gotta talk about it. A lot of people would say, oh, you guys are being racist. Okay. It's not about being racist. It's about serving. It's about being humble and giving ourselves over to the Father and His will. What is the Father's will? Everybody go to churches and they want to make the Father's will whatever they want it to be. What about what the Bible says? Okay. The Father has given us His will and it's found in the Holy Scriptures. Read that.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Read on.
And the people shall take them and bring them into their place.
So the people shall come to Israel. This is a future prophecy. This is the kingdom of heaven we're reading about. In the future, in the kingdom of heaven, the Heavenly Father is going to take you Israelites and put you back in your own land. Okay? And the other nations are going to want to cleave on you. They're going to want to come and be with you. And what are you going to do? Read on.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh.
What does it mean to possess something? Ownership, right? Read on.
For servants and handmaids.
For what?
For servants and handmaids.
For servants and handmaids. What is that? Male and female servants. Read on.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
So they shall take them captives, whose captive they were. So whose captives were we? Who had us in captivity?
Esau.
So who are we going to take captive?
Esau.
It's very simple. Right? It's written in the book. That's why right now they're trying to outlaw the Bible in many countries. Because people are starting to really read it now and say, wait a minute, according to this Bible, black people are going to have us in captivity. So now they say, we don't like this Bible anymore. We're going to start hiding this Bible. It's outlawed in China, different countries. They're going to try to outlaw this Bible. All right, Hillary Clinton started coming forth about outlawing the Bible in America. Or, she was standing up against the Bible. It's going to become more prevalent in these last days that these nations are going to want none of this Bible. You know why? Because the Bible's open now.
They put that in a movie. They took all the Bibles and somebody was blind and stuff like that. Hollywood already told us that.
Look at Eli, right? But it's starting to happen they having this talk, this conversation amongst governmental officials on what they're going to do about this Bible. This Bible is a problem, okay? Because this Bible is giving power and it's reminding the true Jews who they are. And that's a problem to all these societies. Because without us being blinded, without us being in darkness, these societies can't stand. When we come back to the light and we serve our God, they know that's the end of their kingdoms. So they don't want this to happen. They're like, wait, we got to get rid of this Bible. Because these people, they actually starting to read it.
No, it's not the reading part, it's the understanding. They're afraid of. They don't care when we're reading it, but the understanding.
Well, that's what we mean. Yeah. Have understanding. Right? Read on.
And they shall take them captives whose captives they were.
They shall take them captives whose captives they were. Read on.
And they shall rule.
They shall what?
They shall rule.
They shall rule. Read.
Over their oppressors.
Over their oppressors. They shall rule over their oppressors. That's what the Bible says. Okay. It's not my words. What the Bible says. Okay. It's a beautiful thing. All right. So now we're ruling over our oppressors. What are we going to do with them? What are they going to do? Give me Isaiah 60 and verse 10. Isaiah 60 and verse 10. Well, I tell you, our Israelites are hardcore for it. Isaiah 60 verse 10. Let's see what we're going to do.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 6.
Come on.
And the sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls.
Shall do what?
Shall build up thy walls.
The sons of the strangers shall build up your walls. What does that mean? They're going to be working. Don't we build his walls? Who do you think build these cities? Build these railroads? Build these bridges? Who's building them? Trump said they're going to build a wall between America and Mexico, right? But who did he say was going to build it? He said Issachar was going to build it. Why did he say that the Mexicans was going to build it? Because we build everything. He's saying it correctly. Because if a wall is going to be built, guess who's going to build it? Issachar going to build it. But Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, those are our brothers. Okay? That's why this nation is against them. Because they're your brothers. Okay? They're the tribe of Issachar, the Mexicans. Right? The Aztecs and the Incas. Those were the tribes of Issachar, right? And Zebulon, right? Right. Reuben is more over here. It's what they call the Seminoles and the Kasuki and all those. Those were the Reubenites. And then you had the Gadites, which is more like the Cherokee and Wampanoag. And when you learn about those different Indians, those were the Gadites. All our people was in this land before the so-called white man came to America. We was here already. Okay, you learn about these histories in school, in high school, right? They teach you about this history in high school. They teach you about the North American Indian. But what they don't tell you is that they originate from Israel. That North American came here from Israel. Okay, and established colonies here way before the white man came and established anything here. Okay, inhabited this land from sea to sea. They weren't just on the East Coast. They inhabited this land all the way from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. All right, even Canada, even what they call Central America. Right, we had Zebulon down there. Okay, we had Issachar down there. You have Asher down there. Right, going all the way down into South America. Right, we have Naphtali. Right? We have all our people. We inherited all these lands. In the Caribbean, you had Benjamin. You had Levi. Right? We were in all these lands before the slave ships came here. Everybody understand that? So let's get the right history. Not his story, but history. Okay? Because that's what they teach you in the school. They teach you his story, teach you about Christopher Columbus discovered a land full of people. Right? Which don't make any sense when they keep telling our children this thing. Right? It's obviously incorrect, but they're not going to correct it. Why? Because that is one of the stories of white supremacy that keeps white supremacy going, along with Santa Claus and the white Christ, Christopher Columbus, and the Pope and the Easter Bunny. These are all symbols of white supremacy. Everybody understand that? So they have to perpetuate these lessons, even though they know the history is out. It's blatant. Everybody knows that don't make no sense. Right? Thanksgiving, the Pilgrims were with the Europeans and had a dinner. No, the Indians was dinner. to the Europeans, right? That's more correct. That's more accurate. All right. But they keep pushing these things and they keep selling this because it perpetuates the white supremacy that they need so much to keep this nation intact. But we are coming out of that understanding, right? Right or wrong? Right. We coming out of it.
Hallelujah.
Our children are coming out of it. They're waking up. They're realizing something is not right. They're going to ask questions. The Bible is going to be open and it's going to tell us what the problem is. Okay?
The reason why they see this as hate because we were taught lies and what because of the truth, it goes against everything.
Exactly. The hate that they've been experiencing hate all their life and don't realize it. So we show them love, we being looked at as the hateful ones. We show them is love. This is love. This is the truth. Truth, love dwells within the truth. Okay? Give somebody the truth. Whether they want to understand it, like it, or not, you give them the truth, you show them love. Everybody understand that? Okay? That's true love. You can lie to somebody and tell them what you think they want to hear, but you're not really loving that person. Right? You're actually showing that person hatred. Because you're not showing them the love of God. The love of God is truth. Okay? So, let's get back. Leviticus. I had to go there because that picture's an abomination. All right? But we got to be educated, though. It's here. It's right here in the Word. So let's read on. We're picking it up. 44. Leviticus 25, 44.
Verse 44. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen,
right,
that are round about you.
Come on.
And then shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids.
Yeah.
Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy.
Right.
And of their families that are with you,
come on,
which they beget in your land, and they shall be your possession.
They shall be your possession. Read on.
And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children.
You take the possession and you pass them on to your children. Read on.
To inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brother, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor.
You can't do that with an Israelite. Okay, you can't do that. So we start to see how special the Most High looks at us as we're a special people. And we got to treat each other like a special people. When you see your fellow brother Israelite or sister Israelite, we got to treat them as a special people. You understand that? You got to prefer your brother over the other. Okay? Prefer your own people. Okay? Let's read on.
Verse 47. And if a sojourner or a stranger wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family, after that he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may be redeemed him.
Right, and we have that instance today where the other nations, they're richer than us. So we have to give ourselves onto them. What does that mean? We got to work for them. But if your brother, your family see you working for this nation, and they can help you out and say, no, come work for me, get out of there, they can redeem you from that. Okay? So we're supposed to be looking to work for each other, supposed to be working together as a nation. Everybody understand that? We're supposed to be working together as a nation. Not giving ourselves over to them to be workers.
price of his redemption. And as a yearly hired servant shall he be with him, and the other shall not rule with vigor over him in thy sight.
Right.
And if he be not redeemed in these years, then he shall go out into the year of Jubilee, both he and his children with him.
Right. So now, if you're in that situation, you always can be free. If not, if you weren't able to pay yourself out of it, then the year of Jubilee, you free to go. But no heathen is supposed to have bond over you. Okay? You're not supposed to have bond over the children of Israel. You're supposed to be able to leave. Okay? Why is this? Read on.
For unto me, the children of Israel are servants.
Right. We are the Most High servants. Everybody understand that? What does it mean to serve the Most High? What does the servant of the Most High do? You know, I need scripture. Isaiah what? 44. Are you sure? 49. You give me a chapter. That's a long chapter. Can I get a chapter and verse? I see I'm on. Right? Can I get a chapter and verse? 49 and 5. Let's go. Read that. Isaiah 49 verse 5. Let's see what a servant of the Most High is supposed to be doing. How do you serve the Most High?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 5. And now saith the Most High that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again unto him. Though Israel be not gathered, though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Most High.
Right, read that one more time.
And now saith the Most High that formed me from the womb to be his servant.
To be what?
To be his servant.
Formed from the womb to be his servant. What does a servant do? Read on.
To bring Jacob again to him.
To bring Jacob again to him. Right? To bring Jacob back to the Father. Who's Jacob?
Israel.
You're Jacob. Our people out there in the streets, our people out there on First Street and Broward, across at the liquor store over there, that's Jacob. We got a lot of work to do. We got to bring all those people back to the Most High. I don't know how we're going to do it, right? But this is what the Father said we got to do. So we got to go out there and teach our people. Each one teach one. Right? This is not something to keep a secret. When you learn this word, you're supposed to go out there and tell your people about this word. Tell them who they are. Right? Tell them that they're Hebrew Israelites. Wake them up out of sleep. Okay? Now, they may not be gathered, but at least you're doing your job. Read on.
Though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious.
So even though you try to gather them, and they be not gathered, you told them, come to the Shabbat service. You're a Hebrew Israelite. Time to wake up, put on the law, statute, commandments of the Heavenly Father, and they don't want to hear it, even though they be not gathered. Read on.
Yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Most High.
You're going to be glorious in the eyes of the Most High. Why? Because you put that effort in. You went and told them. You didn't keep it a secret. You told them who they are. Whether they want to hear it or not, hey, that's up to them. But you did your work. And for that, you'll be glorious in the eyes of the Most High. Come? Read.
And my power shall be my strength.
And my power shall be our strength. Our God is our strength. All right? We don't rely on guns and weaponry, Esau's weaponry. Our God is our strength. Everybody understand that? Read.
And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob.
Right. He said, this is a light thing. This is easy. I said, I don't know what easy is, but he said it's a light thing to be chosen to raise up the tribes of Israel. So it's not hard. It's not a heavy weight, man. It's a light thing. Right? Just go ahead and tell them. I said, man, have you met these Hebrews? Read on.
And to restore the preserved of Israel.
And to restore the preserved. What does the preserved mean? The ones that the Most High has kept alive. He's preserved. He's preserved. To restore the preserved. To give them back their wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Give them back their heritage. Most High preserved them for us to then go and enlighten them. Read on.
I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles,
right?
that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth.
Right. Our people that's out there, who did he call the Gentiles? Who's he referring to as the Gentiles? The lost sheep of the house, the ones that's far gone, that they're not preserved. They're out there doing who knows what. He said, you're going to be a light to them too. You're going to wake them up also. All right? That they come back. That they wake up. All right? Talking about our northern tribes. Okay? They're going to be a light to them too. And they are waking up and they are coming back. Huh? Read.
Thus saith the Most High.
Thus saith the Heavenly Father. Come on.
In an acceptable time have I heard thee, and in a day of salvation have I helped thee. And I will preserve thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people to establish the earth, to cause and to inherit, to cause to inherit the desolate heritages, that thou mayest say to the prisoners, go forth, to them that are in darkness, shew yourselves.
You're right, that's right. We're going to say to the prisoners, go forth. We're going to free our people. We're going to free their minds. Right? We're going to free their spirit. We're going to free them. Tell them, go forth. You've been locked down in wickedness and sin too long. All right? Go forth. Be the Hebrew Israelite the Most High created you to be. All right? Read on.
They shall feed in the ways, and their pastures shall be in all high places.
Come on.
They shall not hunger nor thirst.
Right.
Neither shall the heart nor sun, neither shall the heat nor sun smite them.
That's what this is what you're going to do for our people, man. Just by restoring them back to the Hebrew Israelites that they are. Right? So it's a blessing to learn your heritage. Everybody understand that? This is a blessing, man. This is a freeing. This is a restoring. All right, so we got to continue this. Continue to teach your people. Continue to go out and educate our people on who they are. All right, so let's go back to Leviticus. 26:55 again, or 25:55.
This is Leviticus chapter 25, verse 55. For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Most High, your power.
Right, so they brought us out of the land of Egypt, the Most High God under Moses, right? He said he brought us out of Egypt to serve him, not to serve nobody else. Right? So let us serve the Most High God, right? Read on.
Leviticus chapter 26 and 1. Ye shall make you no idols, nor graven images, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land, to bow down unto it, for I am the Most High, your power. Ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Most High. If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you rain in due season.
I will do what?
I will give you rain in due season.
He said, then I will give you rain in due season. Mean that what? I'm going to bless you. Okay? I'm going to bless you. You do my work. You keep my commandments, and I'm going to bless you. I'm going to give you rain in due season. Right? Because that's where our blessings come from above. Huh? Right? Hold that again. Give me Isaiah 50. Let's see what he's talking about here. The rain in due season. Isaiah 55. Yeah, so 55 and 8.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts.
Right.
Neither are my ways, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Most High.
Right.
For as the heavens are higher than the earth,
right,
so are my ways higher than your ways.
Come on.
And my thoughts than your thoughts.
Read.
For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from the heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth a bud, that it may give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater.
Read on.
So shall my word be.
So shall my what?
So shall my word be.
Right, so that rain is like that word. So shall my word be. That coming from the Most High come down onto man and blesses us. We can't tell the Most High anything to help him. Yeah, let me help you out, Yahweh. Right? How you going to help him out? Everything we receive was for our help. Read on.
So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void.
Right.
But it shall accomplish that which I may please. And it shall prosper in the things whereto I send it.
That's it. So that his word comes out. And it prospers to them that he sent it to. So that's how we get this rain. This rain in due season. It's talking about the word of the Most High coming down upon us. And in the right time, in the time appointed, in the time when we need it. All right, let's go back to Leviticus 26:4.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 4. Then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit.
Come on.
And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your safely.
And dwell in your
land safely.
Dwell in your land safely. You know what? He's going to cover us, protect us. We're going to be nourished of the Most High. Read on.
And I will give peace in the land.
Right.
And ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid.
Right.
And I will rid evil beasts out of the land. Neither shall the sword go through your land.
Read it again.
Neither shall the sword go through your land.
Right. Neither shall the sword go through that land. What does that mean? No war. He said, I'm going to make you lie down and be at peace. You ain't got to worry about nothing. What you worrying about? Nothing. Right? You got no worries. This is the blessing of the Most High. You don't need an ADT alarm system, gates on your windows, wondering where everybody's at, worried about everybody, worried about your children, worried about what's going on. It's nighttime. Who you at? What's going on? The Most High say, you're going to take away all of that. He said, you're going to be laid up and it's going to be all good. Right? No problems. No worries. Right? Read that last verse again.
Verse 6. And I will give peace in the land.
Right.
And you shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid.
Right.
And I will rid evil beasts out of the land. Neither shall the sword go through your land. And ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword.
Right. You're going to be chasing your enemies. And they're going to be falling down. Like you see in horror movies where they always fall down when somebody's chasing them. Right? They're going to be under your hand. Your enemy, they're going to want to mess with you. All right? He said you're going to chase your enemies and they're going to fall down before you. Read on.
Verse 8. And 5 of you shall chase 100.
What? Read that again? We got to read that out, huh?
And 5 of you shall chase 100.
And 5 of you going to chase 100. Right? What is that most I talking about? Is be power invested in you. That 5 of you, 100 can't hold you. They're going to be running from you. Right now, 100 of us running from 5 of them. Okay? You see 5 police officers come out. You see 100 Negroes scatter like roaches. Right? It's a shame. Right? But it's going to be reverse roles. Meaning that what? We're going to have the authority. Everybody understand that? You got to see this thing. You got to see the way society is now to what you read it in the scripture. So you're going to realize what the scripture is just saying, it's going to flip. But when he flips the society, now the righteous is going to be in rulership. So right now, the wicked is in rulership. Everybody understand that? I don't know if they understand that. Hold that, give me Job 9, verse 24. Where were you at? Because I might say something. If I say something and you don't believe what I'm saying, or you don't understand what I'm saying, or you need proof of what I'm saying, feel free to raise your hand and say, prove it. Because everything we say here, we're going to prove it with scripture. We're not talking out of our own neck, our own mind, our own thoughts, our own desires. We're going to talk about what scripture says. This earth is in the hand of the wicked. The wicked runs this earth right now. Every society you see on this earth is rooted in wickedness. How are we going to prove that? Job 9 verse 24.
This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Right, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And what did he do? He covered the faces of the judges thereof. How did he cover the face of the judge? The judges of earth. By painting his face as their face. By him going around saying he's a Jew. That he's the son of the Most High. He's the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's how he covered the faces of the true Jews. He told you you were African. Right? An African descent or Indian. Or these different labels he put on you. West Indian. You're Caribbean. Carib Indian. Right? African American. Right? That's how we covered the faces of the judges thereof. By giving us a different identity and then taking our identity. Read on.
If not, where and who is he?
If that ain't him, if that ain't the wicked, then where's the wicked? Who's the wicked then? So the scripture is saying, if this ain't wicked, then what's wicked? So it's not for you to even wonder, okay, who is this talking about? It's obvious. Who did this? Did the Chinese man do this? Right? Is Chinese people going around talking about they the Jew? And told us that we are Africans? Huh? Was it East Indian that did this in India? Did he do this? Who did this?
Esau.
Who that?
Edomite.
Esau, the Edom. Right? And more commonly called what? The Caucasian man. He's the one that did this. No, we didn't do this. That's just identity. If somebody robbed a store, right? And they said, well, what happened? Who robbed the store? A man. Would that be a good explanation of who robbed the store? No, they want to know what? What kind of man? What did he look like? What's his ethnicity? What did he have on? He had on a blue shirt, a man in a blue shirt. But that doesn't, you got to break it down even further. So this is identity we're talking about. Identifying who did this. Okay? When you go through the identification of who did this, you can only come up with the so-called Caucasian man. He's the one that says he is the Son of God. Okay? When the Bible clearly says that Christ is a black man. Okay? With woolly hair. Right? But he's saying he's Christ. Okay? So we already know who's guilty. It's not a question in our mind, who's guilty of this? Who's the wicked? Okay? So let's go back. Leviticus
26.
We had 6, 26, 7, 26 and 7.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
And ye shall chase your enemies,
right?
And they shall fall before you by the sword.
Come on.
And 5 of you shall chase 100.
Come on.
And 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight. Your enemies shall fall before you by the sword.
Read on.
For I will have respect among you.
I respect what?
Shalakia, for I will have respect unto you.
I will have respect unto you, Israel. I mean, I'm going to choose you. I'm going to favor you. That's what the Father said. I'm going to have respect unto you. I'm going to favor you. Read on.
And make you fruitful.
And make you what?
And make you fruitful.
Right, come on.
And multiply you.
And multiply you. You're going to have plenty of children, huh?
Huh?
All right, that was quiet. Everybody want no children up in here, huh? Oh, man, your cut was even delayed. Children are a beautiful thing. You want to have children, huh? Listen, I understand things expensive. All right, I get it. All right, or your pockets got tight too. Somebody say children, right? I get it, but children are still a wonderful thing. It's a blessing from the Most High to be fruitful and multiply. All right, Esau makes our lives so difficult. We forget that sometimes. That having a child is one of the highest blessings that the Most High can give you. That He reproduced you. Okay, the children are not They take work, but it's a blessing. Huh? Read on.
Verse 9. For I will have respect unto you,
Right.
and make you fruitful, and multiply you,
Come on.
and establish my covenant with you.
Read on.
And ye shall eat old store, and bring forth the old because of the new.
Now, come on.
And I will set my tabernacle amongst you, and my soul shall not abhor you.
I won't hate you. Read on.
And I will walk among you.
Come on.
And I will be your power.
I will be your power. Read on.
And ye shall be my people.
That's what we talking about. We got to be amongst our people, huh? And he's going to be our power. That's a beautiful thing. Read on.
I am the Most High your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt.
Come on.
That ye should not be their,
ye shall not be their bondmen.
That ye shall not be their bondmen. And I have broken the bands of your yoke and made you upright.
And made you upright. And made you go upright. He broke the bands. We were in heavy captivity in Egypt. Where else were we in heavy captivity at? Here in America, right or wrong? We was in shackles in Egypt. Were we not in shackles in America? So America is also known as Egypt. Everybody understand that? What proves that? What proves that America is Egypt?
Dollar bill.
The dollar bill? How did dollar bill prove that? Right? You don't give me a riddle for a riddle. What is the pyramids?
Exodus 26. 22.
Exodus what?
22.
That makes America Egypt. Come on, Hebrews. Where's all my scholars at here? Hey, I want to, give me Revelations. You guys tripping right now. Right?
Revelation
chapter 11, verse 8.
Thank you.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 8.
Come on.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
Right?
Which spiritually is called Sodom.
What? Which is spiritually called Sodom.
And Egypt.
And Egypt. Read on.
Where also our power was crucified.
That's talking about where we live today. That's spiritually called Sodom and spiritually called Egypt. Why is this land spiritually called Sodom? What's legal in America? What is promoted in America? Same-sex marriage. Okay? Homosexuality. Transgendering, which is homosexuality on steroids, right?
Well, you can choose who you want to be.
All right. You could even choose who you are. Forget about what you was born. I think I'm a boy. I'm a boy this week. I'm a girl next week. I'm gonna put on a dress. I'm gonna wear pants. Right? That is what makes this land Sodom. Because what was Sodom known for? What happened in Sodom? It was 5 cities of what? Fornication. Fornication. And they were really big on homosexuality, which is a form of fornication. What is fornication? Fornication is an evil sexual act, like being a pedophile, like being into pornography, like being in whoredom, right? That is fornication, right? Here in America, right, they teach our children lessons like these, right? What's going on here? Heather has 2 mommies. Why does Heather have 2 mommies? Heather wouldn't be here if she had 2 mommies. Where's Heather's father? They're eliminating Heather's father from the picture, okay? That's wickedness on a high level. Okay? That's what makes this place Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? Right? They got a dog and a cat. No father. 2 moms. And they look happy in their wickedness. Right? So we don't want to establish that amongst our people. We all to have our daughters are to have husbands, and our men are to have wives. Con? Thus saith the Most High. This way you can multiply. All right? You can't multiply otherwise. Okay? So that's wicked. So now, how is this land spiritually called Egypt? Now, what makes this land? What's the commonality of Egypt and America? Slavery, and not just slavery, right? That's the customs.
Bondage, all levels. Tradition.
I'm gonna read something. This is called the history of Mother's Day. Okay? Because a lot of our people is caught up in these pagan holidays. Mother's Day is pagan. Mother's Day is not of the Most High God. Okay? Where does Mother's Day come from? I'm going to read it. It says the spiritual origin of Mother's Day. And I not just download this off the internet. This is not something that you can't find. This is no special secret paper, right? Only recently dubbed Mother's Day, the highly traditional practice of honoring of motherhood is rooted in antiquity, right? And past rites typically had strong symbolic and spiritual overtones. Societies tended to celebrate goddesses and symbols rather than actual mothers. The personal human touch of Mother's Day is a relatively new phenomenon. The maternal object of adoration ranged from mythological female deities to the Christian church itself. So who's that? Right? Mythological deities. The Christian church even adopted this thing. That's why the Christian church, which comes from the Catholic Church, they make a god out of what? Mary, right? The mother of Christ. She's not no god. She's nothing to be worshipped. We give honor unto her as a mother, and that's it. She's not a god, okay? But that comes from what? Worshiping deities, having female gods. Only in the past few centuries did celebrations of motherhood develop decidedly human focus. I'm going to go down now. It says, early Egyptian roots, goddess Isis. One of the earliest historical records of a society celebrating a mother deity can be found among the ancient Egyptians, who held an annual festival to honor the goddess Isis, who was commonly regarded as the mother of the pharaohs. Her stern yet handsome head is typically crowned by a pair of bull horns enclosing a fiery sun orb. She is most often depicted sitting on a throne. So this is where Mother's Day comes from. Mother's Day is not how you honor your mother. It's how this society makes merchandise over pagan worship and keeps these demonic worships going on from society to society. It keeps it going. It keeps it alive. Okay, by them flipping the name and Mother's Day, making it about mothers. Everybody running out to buy flowers. Everybody running out to pay homage to this day. But this day is rooted in antiquity in worship of false gods. So should we keep Mother's Day? We should not have anything to do with Mother's Day if we love the Most High God. Mother's Day has nothing to do with the Most High God. Everybody understand that? All right. Give me Psalms 96 verse 5. Now take nothing away. We honor our mothers. Okay? Mothers are to get the highest honor amongst our people. We're going to going, just a couple scriptures. We went over this last night. We went through a whole lesson on it last night. So you can always look at the lesson from last night. But I want to touch one or two scriptures about it. Read what you got.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 96, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
For all the gods of the nations are idols.
All the gods of the nations are idols. Isis is an idol. Okay, what's idol? We are not to commit what? Idolatry. Idolatry is you what? Serving other gods, serving idols. That's a sin in the sight of the Most High. Right? Read on.
But the Most High made the heavens.
But the Most High made the heavens. Okay, Yahweh made the heavens. That's who we're supposed to worship. It gave us some figures. Flowers on the day of Mother's Day. The flower industry grossed $1.96 billion on Mother's Day. Clothing and accessories boast $1.2 billion on Mother's Day. Gift certificates, $1.2 billion on Mother's Day. Okay. What's the other high one? Jewelry, $2.14 billion on Mother's Day. So if you're wondering if Mother's Day is not of God, why do they keep pushing it? There's your answer. It's very lucrative to society. Very lucrative. If you sold jewelry and flowers, you'd be trying to push Mother's Day. But if you of the Most High God, you are not going to try to push Mother's Day. Everybody understand that? Because you don't care about that. What you care about is serving your power, your Yahweh. Okay? Mother's Day has nothing to do with that. All right? This is custom of the heathen. Give me Jeremiah 10, verse 1. Jeremiah 10, verse 1.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Most High speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
What did he say?
Thus saith the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen.
Don't learn the ways of the heathens. What is the way of the heathen we talking about right now?
Mother's Day.
It's Mother's Day. Father's Day is another heathen worship. Thanksgiving, Christmas, right? Memorial Day, that's coming up, right? Another heathen worship. Who you remembering on that day? What's the memorial to? Okay. 4th of July, our people run out there and want to light fireworks, right? The 4th of July in 1776, what was the condition of our people? Slaves. What do we celebrate? What do we celebrate? Right? We have holidays to celebrate. We got new moon coming up, huh? When new moon? Tuesday. Tuesday night. We got new moon Tuesday night, right here. Right? Then what we have, what's next? We got Pentecost coming up on the 20th. Right? It's gonna be a Sunday. It's gonna be a beautiful day.
Just past the day of Simon.
Right? We just passed the day of Simon.
We're still in the day of Simon. Remember we talked.
Where's the day of Simon again? I don't know off the top of my head, but I thought it was during the time of near Purim. Well, that's Nicanor, that's near Purim, right? Yeah, Simon. Okay, we didn't do anything with the day of Simon.
No, I'm just saying it's the day that we remember.
Oh, okay. It's just a day of memorial anyway. It's a Memorial Day, right? But
exactly, Memorial Day is coming up, so
memorialize Simon, right? Right. So this is the understanding. We have our own high holy days to celebrate. We're learning to celebrate our holy days. We don't got time for our oppressors' holidays, like Mother's Day and Father's Day and St. Patrick's Day and all these days he wants to celebrate. That has nothing to do with our people. Everybody understand that? We got our own heritage we need to build and to show. And when it comes to honoring our mothers get the most honor. They should be honored all year round, correct? Not just on one day. One day, all year you've been disrespecting your mother. Now Mother's Day, here's some flowers. Who's supposed to get that? Who's going to go for that? The honor you show to your mother is yearly, year round. All right, let's prove that. Deuteronomy 5 and 16. Deuteronomy 5 and 16.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, verse 16. Honor thy father and thy mother.
Honor thy father and thy mother. What's another word for honor? Show them respect. Show them their worth. Honor thy father and thy mother. Read on.
That thy days may be prolonged.
That thy days will be what?
Prolonged.
By thy days will be prolonged. What's your days? Your life. That you may have a long life. Read on.
And that it may go well with thee.
And it may do what?
And it may go well with thee.
And that your life go well with you. Why? Because you honored your mother and your father. Your father and your mother. Read on.
In the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee.
Come on.
Thou shalt not kill.
Listen on that.
Yeah.
All right. So that's how we're supposed to honor. As the scriptures say, how to honor their father and mother. I'm going to give one example of how a mother is to be honored. Let's get 1 Kings 2 and 19.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, verse 19. Bathsheba therefore went unto King Solomon to speak unto him for Adoniah. And the king rose up to meet her and bowed himself unto her and sat down on his throne.
So why did the king bow down to Bathsheba? Huh?
To honor her with respect.
Why did he honor her with respect?
Wow. It's over there.
That's his what? That's his armor. In the Hebrew, armor. All right? Because that's his mother. He's the king of Israel, and he bows down before her because she is his mother. Okay? To be a mother is a position with the Most High God. Okay? Man is to honor that. So it's not, when we say don't celebrate Mother's Day, it's not to dishonor our mothers, but we show our mothers honor all year round. Everybody understand that?
Con.
Read.
And bowed himself unto her, and sat down on his throne, and caused a seat to be set for the king's mother. And she sat.
Right.
And she sat on his right hand. Then she said, I desire one small petition of thee.
That's it on that. Right. So what? He caused a seat to be set on the throne for his mother. And she sat down right next to him on the throne. Why? Because she's his honor. That's the only reason why. That's all the why that she needed. Okay? Because she birthed that man. Okay? Because there's nobody that came on this earth from no other way. All right? Give me Wisdom of Solomon 7. Seven and 1.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 1. I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth.
So Solomon's saying what? That he's a mortal man. Okay? Like all, in an offspring. Read on.
And in my mother's womb.
And where?
And in my mother's womb.
And in my mother's womb. Read on.
Was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood.
Fashioned to be flesh, compacted in blood. How we all was born that same way. We all was in our mother's belly, right or wrong? Right. Compacted in blood, read on.
Of the seed of man.
Of the seed of man, or seed of our father, right? Read on.
And the pleasure that came with sleep.
And the pleasure that came with sleep, which is intercourse, right? This is how we all came on this earth, how we came to be. So mothers, fathers, they get their honor from the door. Okay? They don't have to earn your respect. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So they automatically get it. Everybody understand that? Okay? They automatically get it. Not just your physical father and mother, but also your in-laws, the scriptures talk about. You got to honor your father and mother-in-law also. Okay? Give me Leviticus 19:3.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 3. Ye shall fear every man his mother and his father, and keep my Sabbaths. I am the Most High your power.
That's it. Fear every man his mother and his father. Okay? So you're supposed to fear your mother. Being that you should be afraid to what? Disrespect them. Dishonor them. A lot of these children nowadays, they don't fear their parents anymore. Because this society telling them, oh, you 18 now. You 18, all of a sudden you got this rite of passage to tell your mother where to go. Right? That's wickedness. You are never to tell your mother where to go. Everybody understand that? You're never to dishonor your mother or your father. Everybody understand that? I don't care what age you are. Okay? You will always show them respect and honor that's due to them. That's what's supposed to be taught to our children, not no Mother's Day. Make some flowers, cut a card out. And they get our children from young, they got them cutting cards out for Mother's Day and all that. But they never really taught how to really honor their parents. Right? When they do what's wrong, they don't listen, they go, oh, he's a child. And the most I say, oh, it's a child? What happened to a child that didn't listen to their parents in the scriptures?
They got stoned at the gate.
That's it. Most I ain't play. If that parent brought you to the elders, you was finished. Okay? Right? As parents, we ought to discipline our children, but they still don't listen. Right? This society teach you what? Time out. Ain't no time out in the scripture. All right? Right? You out of time, right? That's more like it. You out of time. You're getting knocked out. Right? But you ain't getting no time out. All right? And that's in the word of the Most High. Right? Scripture said, beat us them on the sides. All right? That's what scripture say. Because that's what, it scripture say, beat thy children and save their soul from the devil. That's what the scripture says. Okay? So, you thinking in your mind that Esau got you thinking that, oh, well, you know, it's child abuse, you know, and all these things. Ain't no child abuse. Abusing your child is causing injury to your child. There ain't no beating. Right? Give me Proverbs 23 and 13. 23, 13. What you say?
Oh, 13.
24? What is that?
Chastise him 3 times.
Without beating him? That's 13:24. What's 23:13 from?
Oh, not correction.
Hold.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
I call 23:13 Proverbs.
Oh,
What does that say?
no, that's something good too, though. Yeah,
Oh.
No correction.
But you said, okay.
He's talking about spare the rods for the child.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 13. Withhold not correction from the child.
Right.
For if thou beatest him
Right.
with the rod, he shall not die.
He shall not die. He ain't gonna die. So what if he's crying? What if she's crying? She's not gonna die. She'll be all right. She'll get over it. All right. But she has to learn those lessons. Okay. Read on.
Thou shalt beat him with the rod.
Thou shalt what?
Beat him with the rod.
Right. Thou shalt beat him with the rod. That's what the scripture said. Read on.
And shall deliver his soul from hell.
And shall deliver his soul, his life from hell. So that's what you're doing. You saving your child from hell. Okay? When you correct your child in that manner. So don't think you're being mean, don't think you're child abusing and all that stuff. That's how the society got our children out there acting crazy. Then they get to school and they emotionally unstable because they never got no whoopings. And something bad happened for them and they lose their mind. They want to go shoot up the school. Right? Or the people bullying me. They don't know what it is to take any anger because they don't get corrected. They don't get this wisdom. Okay? So they lose their mind. And they want to act out. They can't deal with disappointment. All right? They don't know how to process pain. Something hurt them and they lose their mind. Okay? You're teaching them a lesson. What scripture you quote? 13 what? Proverbs 13? It's Proverbs 13:24? I haven't got that one.
It's saying this.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 24. He that spareth the rod hateth his son,
Right?
but he that loveth him chastiseth him betimes.
Betimes. What does betimes mean? Multiple times. All the time. Right? So, you see, like our parents knew these scriptures, right? They don't know any other scripture. They knew these scriptures. Somehow they figured this one out. But, truth be told, it's important. It's important because that gives an honor that's bestowed upon the parents from the child. When they're young, you put that honor in them, that respect in them. So when they get old, they always will have that respect and honor. All right, this society teaches disorder. All right, the wrong conduct, trying to be friends to your children. I just want to hang out with you. I don't want to hang out with them. They need to listen to what I told them to do. And I need to see them move when it's time to move. Because that's going to have them understanding authority and order. Okay? It's very important because we see what happens when this don't happen. We used to see it younger. Back in the days, in my day, we'd only see white children speak crazy to their parents. And we would be like, we'll be shocked. Right? We see a young child, shut up, mom. But now you see our people doing that to their parents. You're like, what is going on? What's the breakdown? Right? The whole world's going crazy now, right?
Because they're so interested in their children being their best friends.
Right.
As a lot of women I notice they post, the child could be 2 years old, and they're like, that's my best friend.
Right.
Like,
My right hand man.
That's my right hand. That's my heart. No, it's your child. That's good enough. All right? That's good enough. It's your child. That's it. He's your child. You brought him in this world. He's your child. You brought him in this world. Right? And like they say, you take him back out. Okay? Let that be a reminder. Okay? That you ought to honor your parents. And that brings the honor to the mother. And it brings the honor to the father. That's how you're supposed to honor them. Not with no damn neckties on Father's Day that they never gonna wear anyway. Right? How about you listening and following instruction given by your parents? Get Proverbs 28:24. Proverbs 28:24. Then we get back on topic.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 24. Whoso robbeth his father or his mother, and saith, it is no transgression, the same is the companion of a destroyer.
Right, you want to be a companion of a destroyer? Then take from your parents. Take the honor as bestowed from them. Rob them of what they should receive. And you're gonna be the companion of a destroyer. Meaning that the Most High gonna come and get you. Okay? He's gonna come and get you. So let's make sure that we're honoring our parents the way they're supposed to be. But I'm gonna show you something. Give me 1 Timothy 5. 1 Timothy 5:1-2. First Timothy, the 5th chapter, verse 1 and 2. First Timothy 5:1.
This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 1. Rebuke not an elder,
Right?
but entreat him as a father.
Right. Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father. Meaning that what? What is that saying about a father? You can't rebuke your father. What is rebuke?
Correction.
What kind of correction? Harsh correction. You can't be rebuking harshly your father. That's what I'm saying. You off, man. That's your father. You not saying you can't correct them, but with all due respect, right? Sort of like when you watch court, when you watch Law and Order, right? And you watch how a courtroom is supposed to go down. Sometimes a lawyer can correct the judge, but he don't talk to the judge as the judge talk to him. He say, "What, Your Honor, with all due respect." You know what I mean? My permission to, to cite certain statutes and laws that, and show the judge you wrong, but do it very carefully. Okay? That's how you could help or correct your parent very carefully in your speech. But you can't be rebuking them. That's your problem. You can't be saying that to your father, right? Read on.
And the younger men as brethren.
And the younger men, you treat the brethren. Read on.
The elder woman as mothers.
The elder woman as what?
As mothers.
As mothers. You can't rebuke your mother. Mom, you see, Mom, that's your problem. You're always doing this and that. What in the world is going on here? Right? It don't matter what age you are. You cannot rebuke your mother. Everybody understand that? Now you're learning how to honor your mother. How to honor, not by Mother's Day, but as the word say. Read on.
The younger as sisters with all purity.
And the younger sisters you come in contact with, you treat them as sisters. Okay? But your mother, your elder woman, you treat as mothers. We have elder women amongst us. We have elder, we have the elder, right? Not elder. Yeah, you up there. You gotta be up there too. Yeah, you there. And the Pop, he's up there too. Them grades, he put those grades on. He grew those. Right? And Moshe not here, but he not there yet. He just look like he there. and the ICE, right? He's there too. Right? I think he's 50 plus too. Who's 50 plus in this room? Yeah, he's 50 plus too. Right? Yeah, right. These are elders. Okay? All right? These are elders. So we can correct them, but we can't be what? We can't be harshly rebuking them. All right? So you can correct them, though. Don't think they can't. They're not above correction now. Right? But you can't harshly rebuke them. Everybody understand that? All right? We got to have respect. All right? Now, for the women, it's not 50 plus. For the women, it's 60 plus. So who's 60 plus? We don't have no eldership women in here yet.
They wouldn't raise their hand.
All right, they wouldn't raise their hand anyway. I think by the time we hit 60, they could care less what age they are, right? They ain't had an age no more, right? But for women, it's 60, but for men, it's 50 of eldership, all right? So that's truly eldership, where they're to be treated as such, all right? So we have our orders from the Most High. We know how to deal with our elders and our mothers and our fathers. We don't have to follow society's paganistic holidays and their foolishness with their Mother's Day. Mother's Day is an abomination, okay? All right, so let's get back to, matter of fact, what time we have? 3:15, where we at? Leviticus
26 and about 19.
How many verses? 26.
It goes to,
Okay, 26 is a big chapter. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the break at this time. We're going to take about a half an hour break or so, and then we'll continue with Leviticus 26 and 27, and then Leviticus will be completed. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.